Right. Last tutorial video on families until we actually get into the project of creating family. Okay, so this one we want to talk about family geometry display. So we want to open a family, and let's go down to Windows. That's kind of an obvious looking thingy. Do let's, where's our fixed window? That might be the easiest one to look at. Let's look at a window fixed. Huh? Um, Weird. Okay, open file. All right. So when we look at this, I don't know where the wall is. It's not showing up the wall there. Let's see floor plan. There's the wall. Okay, so here's our wall. That's our host. And you can see these reference planes here. Okay, and see it's equaled off of the center. And you've got a series of them inside the wall. And a lot of labels here, okay, that deal with the size of the window. Okay, inset, extension jam. If we were to come up here and look at all of our labels, there's all the parameters that have been put in. Okay, and you can see in here, the rough opening sizes have been added to this family. Whereas remember when we looked at doors in the other video, there was nothing. All right, so let's look at our type properties while we're here. And you're going to see, especially in your 1129 project, the windows have a lot of parameters, lots of variables that you can turn on and turn off. Okay, because windows are a pretty complex family. Not that other things are not, but they are. Because you got multiple sizes. That's why. Okay, so let's look at this one. You've got your colors are already put in here. Okay. A mutton pattern. Visibility, you can turn these things on and off in your model, okay, when it goes in. Materials, and these can be changed, and we will be doing that in the residential projects. So we'll be making, color changes to some of our materials. Okay. So lots of information in there. Let's go back to our 3D view. Now, if you notice, I was on realistic. Let's just go back to hidden line. You can notice different colors for things. So the trim around the outside is in black. The mutton is in black. Part of the sash is in green. If we can highlight the glass there, the glass should be a blue. It's kind of hard. Yeah, it's blue. It's kind of hard to tell. What we can assign different colors and line thicknesses and things to our extrusions, if you will. Okay, so if I go, let's see, it's under Manage Object Styles. Yep. Here we go. So these are kind of defaults, hidden edges, common edges. Those are kind of defaults. And then these are the parameters that have been added from the window itself. And so we've got line weights. Projection would be like in a surface view or a plane view or an elevation. A cut would be when it gets cut in a section view or in a plan view when it's cut. And you've got colors, the line patterns and types, and then materials that are assigned. Okay. Now notice this is not all of the materials. That's just for these particular line categories. Okay. And so those are there. All right. So if I select my trim extrusion, this is on the exterior side, I can go visibility settings right here. And here's what it tells me what shows up in my drawings or in my model, in my Revit model. So right now it is set so that window trim does not show up in plan views. Okay, the window trim only shows up in elevations, in elevation views, front, back, and left and right views. If I wanted it to show up in my floor plan, I would turn that one on. I'm not sure why this one is not coming on. Normally it does. I don't know. But see, now the trim would show up. Excuse me, I had a big sneeze come there. Now our window, or the exterior window trim, would show up in my plan view. And I can change the details here. So maybe I don't want all these things to show up in my course level. Let's say I don't want it to show up in course level, but I want it to show up in medium and fine levels. Okay. And that's just the exterior trim. It's not the interior trim. So I say okay to that. All right. So let's okay, so in the family, it's going to do that. So let me start a new project and load it into the project, and I'll demonstrate what we were just talking about. All right, so I'm going to come back to here, and I'm going to go load in the project. And I need a wall. And now let's put our window in. Put the window in backwards. Okay. Right? Yeah. No, that's interior side there. Which one did I work on? Oh, okay, yeah. Exterior side was turned off. I'm thinking, duh. And so here I have the window, the interior trim shows up, the exterior trim does not because I'm in fine detail. So if I go to coarse detail, none of the trim shows up. Not sure what I'm talking about here. I'm kind of at a loss right now. It's been a long day. But that's how you can control these things, because a lot of your door families, the door trim, the casing, will not show up in plan view, but you may want it to, so that you can make sure and get your light switches far enough away from the door swing far enough away from the corner of the wall. So it may behoove you to edit your door families and your window families so that the trim will show up in plan views, but not at coarse or maybe even medium details. Okay, but as it is right now, even the elevations are not going to show up at these details here. Okay, so if I go back here and let's look at an elevation view. Okay, so you see the muttons that we haven't messed with muttons. Maybe I drew my wall backwards. Yeah, so I drew my wall backwards. So here's my exterior wall. And so that shows up. But if I go to coarse detail, it doesn't show up. So it's kind of a trade-off if you turn off those coarse, medium, and fine detail things. Kind of a trade-off. We'll get more into this in some of the different things. You're going to do your in-class project last year. Remember, we put door window trim around a window. We did some stuff there with it. In 1131, you're going to be modeling a custom countertop, creating that in place. So we'll be doing some of that stuff with visibility on that. I think that I think that pretty well covers these things. So my next set of videos will be on how to create your family project that's going to be a small table. So that's that for this one.